Whispers of the Forest. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled among the rolling hills and dense woodlands, there lived a writer named Ethan. His heart burned with a passion for storytelling, but recently, his well of inspiration had run dry. Seeking solitude and a muse, Ethan decided to retreat into the heart of the nearby forest, known among the locals as the Whispering Woods for its eerie sounds at night. He found a cozy cabin, seemingly waiting for him, a haven of peace and tranquility. The beginning was like a dream, with Ethan finding solace in the arms of nature, his mind bursting with ideas as he started to weave tales of enchantment and adventure. As days turned into nights, Ethan noticed the peculiar nature of the forest. It wasn't just the rustling leaves or the wind's gentle caress. It was the whispers, soft, unintelligible murmurs that seemed to dance around him, growing louder with the fall of dusk. Curiosity piqued, Ethan ventured into the forest at night, lantern in hand, in search of the source. The whispers guided him, leading him to ancient ruins hidden deep within the thicket. Here, he discovered the legend of an ancient entity, a guardian of the forest, whose voice carried through the trees, protecting its domain from harm. In the heart of the Whispering Woods, Ethan uncovered a truth far more terrifying than he could have ever imagined. The legend spoke of an ancient entity, not merely a guardian, but a sentinel of the forest's deepest secrets and sacred grounds. This entity, known as Aelwynn, was neither benevolent spirit nor malevolent specter, but rather a force of nature itself, bound to the forest through an ancient pact made with the earth. Aelwynn's voice, the whispers that Ethan had followed, were imbued with the power to protect, but also to punish those who dared to disrupt the delicate balance of its domain. As Ethan delved deeper into the legend, he learned that Aelwynn had once been a druid of immense power and wisdom, chosen by the forest itself to serve as its eternal protector. Through a ritual lost to time, Aelwynn's spirit had merged with the forest, becoming one with its vast expanse. The whispers were his way of communicating, guiding the lost and warning the unwary. But the whispers had another purpose: to seek out those who harbored ill will towards the forest, and to unleash upon them a terror so profound that it bordered on the primal fears of mankind. The more Ethan learned, the more he realized the gravity of his situation. Aelwynn's whispers were not merely guiding him, they were testing him, probing the depths of his intentions. When Ethan's curiosity turned from respectful interest to invasive probing into the forbidden areas of the forest, he had unknowingly triggered Aelwynn's wrath. The entity, through the whispers, began to weave a tapestry of terror around Ethan, ensnaring him in a web of fear and paranoia. At night, the forest transformed. The trees seemed to lean in closer, their branches twisting into grotesque shapes. Shadows moved with a life of their own, coalescing into forms both human and beast, yet twisted into horrifying parodies of life. Ethan could hear the whispers growing louder, no longer the soft murmurs he had first encountered, but now a cacophony of voices, angry and accusatory, each word a dagger to his sanity. In his desperation, Ethan sought to appease Aelwynn, to convince the entity of his pure intentions. But the forest had turned against him. The once clear paths became labyrinthine, leading him in circles. Water sources turned bitter, and food became scarce. The forest, under Aelwynn's control, was rejecting him, an intruder to be expelled. The climax of Ethan's terror came when he stumbled upon a clearing, under the light of a full moon, where the true form of Aelwynn manifested, not as a man or beast, but as an ethereal presence, the air itself shimmering with power. The entity's voice, no longer a whisper but a thunderous roar, filled the night. It spoke of the sacrilege of Ethan's curiosity, how his intrusion had threatened the sanctity of the forest. Aelwynn declared that Ethan would serve as an example, a warning to all who would dare to disturb the ancient pact between the forest and its protector. That night, the forest unleashed its full fury upon Ethan. Vines ensnared him, lifting him high above the ground. The wind howled, carrying with it voices of those who had fallen before him, their cries a haunting melody of despair. The entity showed Ethan visions of the forest's past, of blood spilled upon the sacred ground, and of the punishment meted out to those responsible. Ethan was forced to witness the true power of the forest, a force beyond human comprehension, a guardian not just of the physical realm, but of the very soul of the earth. In a desperate bid for freedom, Ethan attempted to escape, only to find the paths twisted and turned against him, leading him back to the heart of the forest, to the ruins where he had first uncovered the legend. It was here that Ethan faced the entity, a terrifying specter of the forest's primal fury. The confrontation was brief but intense, with Ethan battling not just for his life, but for his very soul. The dawn found Ethan, haggard and broken, at the edge of the forest, the whispers finally silent. He had survived, but at a great cost. The forest had released him, but not without leaving its mark. Ethan's eyes, once filled with wonder, now held a haunted look, a permanent reminder of the price of his curiosity. The Whispering Woods remained, a mysterious guardian of secrets and legends, its whispers a warning to those who sought to uncover its mysteries. Ethan never returned to the forest, but the experience changed him. His stories, once filled with hope and adventure, now carried a darker tone, a reflection of the night he had survived. In the end, Ethan realized that some mysteries were meant to remain unsolved, their protectors too formidable, their whispers too terrifying to ignore. The Whispering Woods stood as a testament to the ancient, unyielding forces of nature, a reminder that some places are beyond the reach of human desire and ambition, their secrets preserved by the very whispers that had once lured him into their depths. Dare to venture into the unknown? Join us on a journey where shadows whisper and secrets lurk. Subscribe now and ring the bell to summon fresh mysteries directly to your screen every few days. Ignore this call and be warned. An eternal curse awaits those who wander in the dark, unguided. Do you have the courage to face the unknown? Your adventure begins with a click. Welcome to the realm where every notification brings you closer to the abyss. Subscribe, if you dare.